Vandeham Sri Guru.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, 9th Chapter, text number 7, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on the 14th of February, 1976, in Mayapur, India.
Sri Rupam Chakrajatam.
Translation. Prahlada Maharaja thus fixed up in his mind with full attention, the mind and sight, everything was placed in complete trance. Thus, on account of love, he began to offer his prayer in faltering voice.
Astosi dharime kagya manasasu samadha prema gadgadaya vacha tannasta hridayekshana. This is gradual progress of spiritual mind. And this stage is called prema. Prema gadgadaya vacha. So, we have to make progress as it is exemplified by Prahlada Maharaja. Adu gudbasram sadharma prichya sadhu marganu gamanam. The first business is adu, in the beginning, gudbasram. Gudbasram means to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Adu gudbasram. And this takes place when there is shraddha. Just like in this meeting, persons who have got little faith, they can sit down and hear. This is called shraddha. And the higher stage of shraddha is to completely accept the instruction of Krishna. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that is higher stage of shraddha. In the lower stage, little faith. So here is something going on about Krishna. Let us sit down and hear. This is Kanishta Shraddha. And this Shraddha, faith, has to be increased. That ultimately, in the mature stage of Shraddha, faith, that is described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Shraddha Shabdi Visya Sudhira Nishcha Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kritaha. This is Shraddha. Shraddha Shabde, the Shraddha faith means Sudhira Nishcha. Shraddha Shabde Visya. Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam braja. Aham tva sarva papi bhama bhaishyami. This is called faith. Yes, Krishna says that simply by surrendering at his lotus feet, one becomes immediately a liberated person. Krishna says that. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam braja. Aham tva sarva papibhya mokshaami. Just like if I offer you that if you do this work, I shall give you immediately 50,000 rupees. So, who will believe me? This man is a beggar, sannyasi, how will give 50,000 rupees? So there is no Shraddha. But we cannot do so with reference to Krishna. When Krishna says, Aham tva sarva papibhya mokshaami, That is a fact. That is not a bogus promise. Because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all-powerful. Whatever he likes, he can do. And this is called faith. So after reading Bhagavad Gita, if one does not get this faith in Krishna, then it is useless waste of time. There are many so-called scholars, politicians, they declare that I read Bhagavad Gita daily 3 times, but the result is no faith in Krishna. This is called useless waste of time. If you do not get the faith which is required by studying Bhagavad Gita is the ABCD reading for understanding God. That is ABC. So if you do not understand even the ABCD, how he will advance in higher studies? That is not possible. So, even we cannot understand Bhagavad Gita, the ABCD. Krishna says one thing and they interpretation in a different way. Krishna says, Aham adirhi devana matta sarvam pravartate. They do not believe it. Samayeva hi kevalam. To such persons, the Bhagavad says, dharmasyanusthita pumsan vishyaksena katha sujjat notpadayat rating jadi samayeva hi kevalam. You are very religious, performing the ritualistic ceremony very nicely, going to the Ganges and taking your bath and dharmasyanusthita pumsa. Very rightly you are executing your religious principle and coming at home, you are reading Bhagavad Gita, but you have no faith in Krishna. That is useless time, useless question. This is Bhagavad. Samayeva hi kevalam. So why this happens? Because these people do not approach the right person, Guru, Adu Gudbas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was visited by many learned Brahmins when he was at Puri, Jagannath Puri. So, one learned Brahmin, he wrote some poems about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many Brahmins who are coming, but all such reading matters. First it was to be tasted by secretary Sarup Dam. If Sarup Damodar would pass, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will hear. Otherwise, why should he waste his time? Some hodgepodge writing. So one Brahmin, he wrote something about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and came to recite before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sarup Damodar found many mistakes in that poem. So he did not allow him. So you do not know how to present theistic literature. You cannot see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He chastised him about the mistakes. So to write theistic literature is not to be done by any ordinary man. It is not, because they do not know. So we should not read any literature which is not presented by a bona fide Vaishnava. It has been forbidden by Sanatana Goswami. Avaishnava mukhadgina puto hari kathamritam savanam na kartavam, he said. Sanatana Goswami is our guide, Acharya. His warning is that if a person is not Vaishnava, don't hear anything nonsense from him. That is Indian. Don't hear. This is very rigidly to be followed. Avaishnava mukhadajinna puta hari kathamritam savanam na kartabam sarpachishtu payojatha. One can argue, we can hear Harikatha from any person. He may be Vaishnava or not Vaishnava. What is the matter? But Sanatana will say no. Now why it is no? Because it is like sarpachishta payojatha. This milk is very good, nice food, everyone knows. But if the milk is touched by the leaves of a snake, it is not to be touched. It is not to be touched. It has become poison. Very good example. Similarly, if we do not hear from the right person any Vedic literature, especially Bhagavad Gita, because that is the beginning, the sarpachishta payojata. He may be very big scholar, but because he is Vaishnava, not devotee, it has become poison. In our country, we have got so many editions, not only in country, outside the country also. In your country, there are so many hodgepodge interpretations of Bhagavad Gita, and they are being read and being used for the last 200 years ago. But there was no effective result. It could not act. But as soon as this Bhagavad Gita as it is, we are presented and you are reading, so many thousands, they are becoming devoted. So therefore, this process, Prahlada Maharaja is demonstrating by his personal behavior, because he is Mahajan. He is Mahajan. Out of the 12 Mahajans, the Shastra says, Mahajana jena gatasya pantha. One has to follow the Mahajan, authorized person. Mahajan means authorized person. Ordinary John, commandment. And Mahajan means authorized person. We cannot take lesson, instruction from unauthorized person. This authorization must come through the disciplic succession. If the spiritual master, authorized spiritual master says, you do this, that we have to do. That we are singing daily. Guru mukha padma vakha chittete koriya oikya. Arana koriya manaya. This is the process. And if I think that I am more intelligent than my Guru, first of all, Guru must be bona fide, not a bogus Guru. The Guru, as specified by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is not very difficult. Who is Guru? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Amar aggaye Guru haiya taro eide, jare dakho tare kaho, Krishna upadesh. He is Guru. One who is strictly following the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and after following him, he is just delivering the instruction as Krishna has said. Then you become Guru. It is not difficult. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ordered everyone. Therefore our process is to follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then try to understand Krishna's instruction. Just like here in our temple, first of all, there is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Through his mercy, we are trying to understand Radha Krishna. You cannot understand Radha Krishna directly. That is not possible. That will be like that. Sarpachishta payojatha. Milk touched by the leaves of snake. There are so many Bhagavad reciters in India. They jump over to the Rasli without understanding Krishna through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Narottam Das Thakur has sung, Rupa Raghunatha pade hoive akuti, pabe hama bujhava se jugala piriti. Don't try to understand jugala piriti, Radha Krishna's love, abruptly. It is foolishness. You'll misunderstand. Therefore, Narottam Das Thakur, he said, Rupa Raghunatha pade hoive akuti. Rupa, beginning from Rupa Goswami up to Raghunath Das Goswami, 6 Goswami. Srirup Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Srijiv Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. 6 Goswami. So not from Dasa, Rupa Raghunath, beginning from Rupa to Raghunath Das Goswami. Rupa Raghunatha pade hoive akuti, pabe hama bujhava. Don't try to understand Radha Krishna love without going through the instruction of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Dasa Goswami. That is that. So we see practically how Prahlada Maharaj immediately attained the stage of prema. Here it is said, prema gadagadaya vacha. Prema, that prema is not this prema. The lusty desire, that is not prema. Prema, one has to learn. One has to go through the discipling or discipline to attain the stage of prema. As Prahlada Maharaj said, he first of all followed the instruction of Brahma, then immediately he got the favor of Lord Nrsimhadeva. And after getting that, he got the prema stage. You cannot go immediately to the prema stage. That is also Rupa Raghunatha pade, Rupa Goswami has said. Then second again the Adau Sadhya, Tatu Sadhu Sangha, Ato Bhajana Kriya, Tatu Anartha Nimitti Syat, Tatu Nishtha, Tatu Ruchi, Tatha Shakti, Tatu Bhava, Sadhukanang Ayam Premno, Pradudbhavi Bhavatukam. These are the krama. You cannot get prema state artificially crying, falling down, and then smoking bidi. This is not prema. Prema you have to learn by the karma pantha. That karma pantha is the same. Adau sadhya. Adau sadhya. Sadhya means faith. Yes, Krishna says that sarva dharman parityaja mamekam. It is right. This is faith. This is beginning of faith. Now, to keep the faith or to increase the faith, you have to live with faithful servants of Krishna. This institution, the center is meant for giving a chance to the common people to get association of devotees. Adau sadhya tatu sadhu sam. Sadhu means those who are well behaved in Krishna consciousness, not upstarts. They are called sadhu. So, those who are living in this temple, they must be strictly very well behaved, so that whoever will come out of Shraddha, if he sits down for some time and sees your behavior, then he will be influenced. And if you become third class, then how sadhu sangha will be effective? No. You must strictly follow the regulative principles as given to you by the spiritual master, Shastra. You must follow. Then people who will come in contact with you, they will be benefited. Adau sadhya tatu sadhu sangha. And if we regularly make sadhu sangha, then the effect will be he will try to become a sadhu. That is initiation. Initiation means the beginning of becoming a sadhu. Not that after initiation immediately becomes a sadhu. No. If he follows, just like we instruct, that you chant at least 16 down, you have no illicit sex, you cannot take any meat, fish, egg, or you cannot have any intoxication up to drinking tea and smoking, and you say no gambling. This is the process of becoming a sadhu. This is called bhajana kriya. Then anartha needs. Anartha. These are anartha. There is no need of smoking. It is useless, but we have practiced it. Therefore they are anartha. But if you follow the devotional process, then anartha will be finished very soon. That is the test. Test means bhakti parasanubhava virakti annatrasya. If you are actually advancing in bhakti devotional service, then automatically you don't like this nonsense practice. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication. Automatically. That is the test. How far? The anartha nivittisya, these are anartha. Then it is nishtha, firm faith, then ruchi, taste, then asakti, attraction, then bhava, then prema. So, Prahlada Maharaj is on the stage of prema. Prema gadgadaya vacha, tannasta hridayekshana. When you attain the stage of prema, then your core of heart is clean for welcoming. He is there for seeing. Therefore in the Brahma Samhita it is said, Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hridayeshu vilocha. You can see God within your heart. He is sitting there. Ishara sarva bhutanam hridayesya arjuna tishtati. You get, there he is. Krishna is there within your heart. But you cannot see because you have no prema. You cannot see. Krishna does not expose himself to the non-devotees. He does naham prakasa sarvasya juga maya samavita. He will not expose himself. But if you attain the stage of prema, as Prahlada Maharaja attained, then you will see. How you will see? Sadaiva, always. Not that for 2 minutes I see and Krishna is no more there. No, not like that. Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva. Sadaiva means constant, incessant. You can see. Premanjana charita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hridayeshu vilopayanti janga shama sundaram achinta gunasarupam govindamadi gurudam tamaham. Then you can offer your prayers to Krishna, Govinda, and then your life is successful. This is Krishna consciousness process. So try to follow the path chalked out by Prahlada Maharaj. He is one of the Mahajans. Out of the 12 Mahajans, he is also one of them. He is our Guru. So try to follow Prahlada Maharaj's instruction and behavior also. Thank you very much.